If you were expecting a dopamine-filled video for entertainment, this is not for you. Click off right now. I'm trying to change lives here. Young men my age, about 100 years ago, were storming the beaches of Normandy in boats, getting torn up by machine gun fire, getting destroyed by planes up in the air, throwing things down. Like, they still had to keep going. They still persisted. They moved forward, fighting in the war, dying, losing their best friends. You know, it was people, young men, who started America, who started the revolution. They weren't 30, 40, 70. They were like in their 20s, in their teens. And look at the teens and 20s of today. What happened to strong men? Like, what happened to us? Like, I'm so confused. They had a great vision, a purpose. And in today's day and age, that's exactly what we lack, right? Let me read you a quote. We do not have a great war in our generation, or a great depression, but we do have a great war of the spirit. We have a great revolution against culture. The Great Depression is our lives, and we have a spiritual depression. Spiritual as in, I would say purpose. Purpose is what we lack. Because when you are free to evade reality, when you are free to unfocus your mind and just stumble blindly on any road that you please, one day, you're going to stumble onto a road you never planned to stumble upon. And you're going to see that it leads you to an abyss, really. Choose where you're going in this life, okay? Don't just stumble. Don't just go with the flow. When pleasure, personal happiness, limited desire, modest living, knowledge without action, tranquility, absence of bodily pain, and hedonism take over, a weak man is born. Basically, that's saying when pleasure is at the forefront of your culture, when pleasure is literally the only reason what you live for, pleasure, seeking pleasure, then there is no reason for purpose. Because purpose is in fact the opposite of pleasure. Purpose leads to fulfillment, sure, maybe. But I think purpose is love. And love is a sacrifice. Love is sacrifice. Sorry, there's so many good quotes. This book is so good, you should read it. It's called Hard Times Create Strong Men by, I forgot who. And I just want to tell you, brother, look me in the eyes. Like, it is so easy to be great nowadays. Look at your competition. They're scrolling social media right now. You're watching an unedited video on how to destroy them. Like, all you need is a purpose, a work to sacrifice for, a vision. Be vision driven, be purpose driven. Once again, purpose is love. It is a sacrifice. It is not about you. When your purpose is about whatever, family, right? It's something bigger than you. You have people on your back. When your purpose is, I want to make sure Pornhub goes bankrupt in 10 years. You're saving lives. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what you need to do. In today's day and age, we are constantly preached to that our purpose, everything that we should be chasing is self-fulfillment, self-gratifying. It's fun, it's pleasure. Look at where that has taken us in our world today. Men are not happy. Women are not happy. Our suicide rates are increasing, bro. It's increasing. Like, we have more than we've ever had before. We are the most unhappy, like, on average, than we ever have been. It is so easy to be great nowadays because everyone forgets that purpose is not about you. It's about love. And love, once again, is a sacrifice. Love is sacrifice. So when those young men stormed the beaches of Normandy and they got annihilated, they were not thinking of themselves. They're not just trying to get 1% better every day. They gave the ultimate sacrifice out of love for their nation, their country, their families. And yet you see the average young man, young woman on the street today. Why do you work so hard? It's just for myself. I'm just working hard, 1% better every day. The guy who has a family to feed will destroy you. Destroy you. Of course he will. He has people on his back. You don't. And I'm not saying you have to have a crazy reason for why you're doing everything. I'm just saying understand that your purpose is about sacrifice and it's not about you. You don't have to love your purpose. You don't have to be passionate about your purpose for it to be your purpose. And ultimately, That brings us fulfillment. Not happiness, not pleasure. Fulfillment. It brings you fulfillment, not a temporary happiness. It brings you that full feeling, that wholeness, not a happy, yay, let's go feeling. If that's what you're looking for, click off this video right now. Go watch Mr. Beast. Let me read you an excerpt from this book. A man's purpose is his work. You are not a unique and beautiful snowflake. Let me just make this point across first. Like, if you watch me and you kind of relate to me and these problems, it's because we are not special. I'm exactly like you. If you were born into my body in the same circumstances with the same parents, same influences, you would end up exactly like me. Same goes for me to you. So you are not a special and unique snowflake. We are all going through the same things, same problems, roughly, right? So here's a poem, I think, or some excerpt. When you are living your purpose, you get up early in the morning without an alarm. You stay up late, focused, without getting tired. You never tire from your purpose or get bored from it. Your purpose is an obsession. You forget to eat, forget to drink, forget everything else. Fear does not stop you. Weakness does not tempt you. And you become relentless. People who are not living their purpose say, slow down, take a break. You don't need to work this hard. They see you as crazy. Have a little fun, take a vacation. They don't understand. Your purpose is what makes you happy, fulfilled. Your purpose, even though it's you giving, makes you feel fulfilled. Hold on, let me write this down. Study on happiness. There's an example I want to share with you just like in a moment. And that to you, every day is Saturday when you're pursuing your purpose. Every day is the weekend. Time is no matter, and it doesn't matter anymore. What day is it? What month is it? What year is it? Hell, it doesn't matter. Your purpose is the only thing that is on your mind. You only get one shot in this life. Do not waste it living someone else's dream. If you don't know your purpose, if you don't know your dream, if you have no ambition, someone will give you one. If you're not actively trying to build your dream, you will end up building someone else's. Live your purpose. There is no other way. And that is by Stefan Arnio. And another excerpt from The Way of the Superior Man by David Data. The way a man penetrates the world should be the same way he penetrates his woman, not merely for personal gain or pleasure, but to magnify love, openness, and depth. Essentially, purpose is your greatest sacrifice. But ironically, when you look for a purpose to sacrifice for, it brings you the greatest fulfillment and happiness that you couldn't get from any amount of scrolling on Instagram or any amount of eating junk food or drugs or whatever. It's a different kind of happiness. It's the next level. There was actually a study on happiness that was done where they asked participants of one group to spend a certain amount of money on themselves and buy whatever they want, and another group to spend that same amount of money and buy things for others, their friends, even random people. And they found that when people bought things for themselves, they got happier initially. This was their happy level, okay? This is baseline happiness. It went up, and then immediately it just dropped straight back down. But when they bought the group that bought things for other people, it went up. And it just kept going up. And it went even higher. I think it was like, it might have even been like 50% higher than like when they bought something for just themselves. And then it would last longer too. Like, isn't that crazy? I can't find the study. I don't know. I just heard it a while ago. And that just goes to show the nature of like how our brains work, right? When we are sacrificing for others, when we are doing things for others, for some reason it gives us more benefit. Now I'm saying like genuine intentions, right? We don't want to use this like maybe if you're psychopathic or whatever, but like when you give a gift to someone, it makes you happier more than if you give a gift to yourself. So it's no wonder why when we're taught to chase pleasure, ironically, it leaves us feeling empty. How do you feel after you eat all that junk food? You might feel good for a bit. You know that like you just like destroyed your health, right? When you stay up late and you wake up like late the next day, you know you just destroyed your sleep schedule. That's me. The men who started America, the men who stormed the beaches of Normandy, the young men who did anything worthwhile in their lives, their purpose was not about them. It was about love. It was about sacrifice. They were driven by a vision, whether they would live to see it or not. And that is probably the most liberating experience that you can probably have in this life. To die for a vision that you and your brothers see, and you'd be willing to die for it, like give everything for it, sacrifice. We never define love as sacrifice. We always define love as, if someone were to ask you, what is love? What is love? Like, it's a warm, fuzzy feeling, right? Like, oh, it's so nice. It's like, oh, it's sacrifice. Take people like Jesus, for example. Jesus, his purpose was to die on the cross, right? Die on the cross. He didn't want to die on the cross. He wasn't passionate about dying on the cross. He did it anyway. Why? Because he had a vision. Because it was his purpose. Simple as that. Why did the young men risk their lives in America to start an entire revolution and start a new nation? They were my age. Why? It's because they had a vision. A vision. Young men don't have vision these days. Young women don't have a vision. I don't even know if young women... It's different. I'm still so clueless about all this. But I know just for a fact that it is so easy to be great nowadays. If you have a purpose, if you can just have a vision and sacrifice for it, and understand that purpose is not pleasure. It does not equal the same. Purpose does not equal pleasure, okay? Like, get that out of your head. Purpose is love, and purpose is a sacrifice. And if you can have a vision that you're willing to sacrifice for and work for, and that your purpose is bigger than you, it's not about you, right? Me recording this right now, it's not about me, it's about you. It's about you. And if you can sacrifice for that, man, you are miles, light years ahead of everyone else who doesn't even know what their purpose is. I'll just get 1% better every day, guys. Like, I'm not saying there's anything inherently wrong with that. I'm saying that when you tell yourself you're not comparing yourself with anyone else, you're just focusing on yourself, you're just getting 1% better every day, it sounds very wholesome. That you have no competition, that we're all in this together. When is that ever... Honestly, maybe for some people it would work. But for people like me, it doesn't. Because I don't like that feeling. I don't like that wholesome feeling. I used to. I don't know what necessarily changed, but the moment that I told myself I was competing against... Let me show... Come with me, bro. A man is measured by the quality of his opposition. If you're not competing with anyone, you have no one to push you. You have no one to take you, force you to get to that next level. And honestly, it's just such a huge motivator. Not a motivator. It's just a huge fire under me that just keeps me going. That I want everyone to feel. Because it's an awesome feeling, honestly. To know that you're hunting down these people you look up to. Work until your idols become your rivals. That's the message that I have for you today. Purpose is love. It's a sacrifice. It's more than just you. And it is so easy to be great nowadays if you just have a vision to strive for and pursue, and you're willing to sacrifice for it. That's all you need. Get after it, bro.